Okay, Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker, developed by Soleil, released in August 2018. I had no idea what to expect heading into this game, but after watching the game trailer, I was excited to play. Having completed the game now, it lived up to my expectations. Kudos to Soleil for making such a fun game. I will say there were some problems with randomly disconnecting from matches and to a lesser extent players exploiting or using modifications that just broke the gameplay, but other than that, I really did enjoy it. Shinobi Striker is a multiplayer game, so internet connection is required to participate. It does have a single player mode, which is playable in co-op as well. The ESRB rating for Shinobi Striker is teen and older. In my opinion, it's fine for preteens, 9 and older. I can even see the argument that it's suitable for all ages, but ultimately the gameplay is likely too complex for younger players to understand, so I tend to lean towards preteen and older. The game is based on an anime series, which is most known in pop culture for the Naruto run. Having never seen the show and playing the game, I had no idea what was going on in the story mode, but it was very clear that none of it was malicious. There was no offensive or sexual content or suggestive themes in the dialogue. There's some parts of violence, but it's cartoonish in nature. Even more, the toxicity found in various multiplayer games is just not here. Players can't voice chat with their teams in-game, and there are no custom text chat features in-game as well. It's very clear that the developers intended for the game to be suitable for all ages, and I'd say they pretty much hit the mark there. It will take about 4 hours to beat Shinobi Striker, but to get 100%, it can take anywhere from 30 to 190 hours-ish. There are no cheats, but there are glitches and third-party modifications, which will essentially make it impossible to lose if you use it or find a way to use it. There is no difficulty setting for multiplayer, but the single player mode, known as VR missions, does have a difficulty scale feature and is needed for a trophy. However, the biggest factor when considering how long it will take you to complete this game is it being a multiplayer game. Like any multiplayer game, the difficulty of completing the trophy list increases as time goes on. This is just the normal life course of these types of games. Newer games come out and player pool shrinks, leaving only diehard fans and professionals left to play in matches. Also, there is no tier system for the matchmaking, so you theoretically can go up against the best team in the world on your first match. On a scale easy to expert, the trophy list difficulty for Shinobi Striker can vary from easy to expert. Again, it really depends on when you play, the number of players left when you are playing. As of this review, the game is over 4 years old. For me, the community was still strong with a decent balance of novice and expert players. That will likely skew towards being harder as time goes on. In my opinion, the trophy list is a total mental workout. You will improve everything from mental reaction to confidence to critical thinking and so forth. I think Shinobi Striker is an extremely valuable game for being appropriate for such a wide audience and having this kind of trophy list with its game mechanics. The trophies that really highlight this are packed into 3 categories. Trophies that require you to play 100 matches with all fighting types, trophies requiring you to win 100 matches in certain game modes, and the trophy called Veteran Ninja, which requires you to play 1,000 matches. Starting with the fighting type trophies, there are 4 different styles to choose from. There's attack, range, defense, and heal, each having their own pros and cons. The great thing about these kinds of trophies is that it forces players to play a significant amount of time with each style, and through that you learn what you're good at, which generally you likely wouldn't have found had you been able to choose not to do so. And really, for example, for me, I'm more focused on defense and heal styles when I'm playing multiplayer. Since my combat skills are generally more advanced, I could take advantage of the benefits that defense and heal types have and use that. I found that in this game, though, it was just non-existent. It was essentially like my worst fighting styles, and so I had to adapt. And then I learned more about other things I do, and I tweaked the strategy a bit. And as you can see in my gameplay footage, towards the end of my sessions, completing the game, like I was just killing it. And that's again really just adapting, going with it. And it really, I never honestly would have gone that route had it not been for these kind of trophies that really pushed me to step outside what I thought I would like to do, and really actually make me aware that everything's always different depending on the situation in this type of game. So it's generally, you likely wouldn't have found how to do this, again, if you were able to not choose to do so. It's so important to your own growth and development to differentiate between what we want to do and what we are good at. Ideally, you find a balance between the two and really allow yourself to see and handle things multiple different ways. The trophies requiring you to win 100 matches in different game types only adds and builds on this type of mental fitness and really help improve the way we think and tackle issues in the real world. And finally, playing 1,000 matches, it is quite a feat, but each match is slightly different but familiar. Your experience is always going to be different in each one, and it's good to be exposed to so many different types of experiences, even though the outcomes will always end up about the same of three ways: win, lose, or draw. Most games that have such a high play count trophy usually don't deliver on the mental fitness benefit for various reasons, but Shinobi Striker, in my opinion, does deliver on this. If you, for example, are a student and playing this game, you'll see how thinking and playing different ways can work or not work for you in the long run. The same can easily be transferred to real life. You could find yourself performing better in school depending on how you tackle certain assignments. Anything from the way you solve a problem to how you should show your work, to even how you study for an assignment. Slight tweaks in the way you go about things can lead to massive improvements in growth and development. It's so odd because it's just like you're just doing something and then just the slightest change or modification just opens up your mind. It's wild, and it happens, and it can happen for everybody. And the same can easily be said for those who are working adults. You generally have your work assignment, but you can always learn different ways to go about it, becoming more efficient and successful in what you do. And again, it's being able to step outside, tackle things in a different route, different way, slightly working within that specialized way that you're going about it. Just like the little micromanagement of it, it can do wonders. And simply playing a game rarely helps teach these lessons, but having a game like Shinobi Striker with the kind of trophy list it does, considering the gameplay mechanics of it, and playing to complete the trophy list rather than just playing for fun, will help improve your mental toughness overall. When it comes to trophies that would have reflected the game and have mental fitness benefits, the only one that really stands out in my mind is having a win 100 matches in Imperial mode. It was the only game type trophy not included. I don't know why. It really should have been in there, but not a huge deal that it wasn't. When it comes to trophies that could have been added to reflect the game and been more challenging for mental fitness, none really come to my mind. I think this was about as perfect of a trophy list a developer can build. So, overall, Shinobi Striker really met my expectations. I had a lot of fun with it. I would highly recommend playing it if you're looking to get, again, a total mental workout For me, Shinobi Striker really helped me build critical thinking, the way I go about handling certain situations, and really depending on that situation, maybe the route that I would be most comfortable and successful at doesn't actually necessarily would apply in a new situation that seems similar but is different. So it was a good lesson. And if you have any questions about Shinobi Striker or mental fitness, or just want to share your experience with the game, feel free to leave a comment or message me. I will do my best to answer any questions in a reasonable time. And alright, another review in the bag. If you want to watch me play live, follow me on Twitch. If you'd like to hear more about mental fitness, game previews, and initial impressions, then follow me on my Instagram. I also take polls on Twitter for games I should be playing next if you're into that. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Bye!